Welcome to the 1905. And I don't think this night needs a lot of introduction. You guys all know why you're here, but we're really grateful to have all of you to celebrate the incredible person in music that was, is, and will be Dave Frishberg. And there's no better host than the incredible vocalist and friend of the jazz community here in Portland and beyond. Please welcome Rebecca Kilgore. Forgot one thing. I'm the person that gets to talk about money. As you probably know, the family has asked that proceeds from tonight's performance go to musiccares.org. We have a band tip bucket that will serve as any kind of hat passing that we need to do, so please feel free if you want to make a contribution. It'll all be tallied up tomorrow. Rebecca and I will put our heads together and figure out how to make sure all the bills are paid and all the proceeds go to the right place. If you want to leave a check, make it out to musiccares.org. And we'll make sure it gets there. Otherwise, you can go to the website and donate as you see fit. But without any more hiccups, please welcome to the stage Rebecca Kilgore.
This is too tall. Well, welcome, one and all. I'll be your host this evening. I stole that from Stephen Colbert. So we're going to have fun singing and playing some Dave Frishberg songs, and I think I have a little high problem. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not high. I mean, I'm too high.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. How are you?
Ay, ay, ay.
How are you feeling?
I can tell you my leg right here. A little frazzled.
Me too.
Really? Yeah. Why? I mean, what do you have going on? I'm being facetious.
Okay, so let's run a New York
If for some reason my charge don't get delivered,
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I thought I'd introduce myself.
That's one of the frazzled.
My name is Dan Barrett. I'm from Southern California. I'm thrilled to be here with Randy and Tom and Todd. But this little delay gives me a chance to tell you about my recent experience. I took skydiving lessons not too long ago and went through all the training, and I was ready for my solo jump. And I left the plane rather reluctantly, and I was plummeting through space, and I pulled my ripcord as I was trained to do, and the chute didn't open. But I think Becky's ready to sing. I'll have to finish this later.
I think it has a happy ending. So I'm going to sing a song by Cole Porter first, and it's called Looking at You, and it's the name of the CD that I first made with Dave Frishberg. And So it was just piano and voice. It was really fun. One, two, looking at you, I'm thrilled with the essence of looking at you. Oh, looking at you, while troubles are fleeing, I'm admiring the view, 'cause it's you I'm seeing, and the sweet honeydew of well-being settles upon you. What is this light that shines when you enter like a star in the night? And who's to prevent her from destroying my sight when you center all of it on me? Looking at you, I'm filled with the essence of the quintessence of joy. Looking at you, I hear poets telling of lovely heaven of Troy. Darling, life was so great, I wanted to end it till that wonderful day you started to mend it. So if you only say, I'll spend it looking at you. Troubles are fleeing, I'm admiring the view. It's you I'm seeing, the sweet honeydew of well-being settles upon me. What is this light that shines when you enter like a star in the night? And who's to prevent her from destroying my sight if you center all of it on me? Looking at you, I'm filled with the essence of the quintessence of joy. Looking at you, I hear poets telling of lovely heaven of Troy. Darling, life was so great, I wanted to end it till that wonderful day you started to mend it. Now if you only stay, I'll spend it looking at you. I'll spend it looking at you. Thank you. Now this is a song that Dave Frishberg wrote the music and lyrics to, and it says 1982. And it's a really pretty song called Our Love Rolls On. The clouds hang low and the winds do fall. Rains do fall, and everybody sings a little blues after all. But our love rolls on. The skies grow dark, and the winds do blow. And counting on tomorrow is at best touch and go. Still our love rolls on. You and I have a reason to try. We'll make it over the hill. We survive, and our love is alive, 'cause our love grows stronger still, and it always will. So it's rain or shine as the fates decide. And even if some trouble comes along for the ride, still our love rolls on. Our love rolls on and on and on and on. You and I have a reason to try. We'll make it over the hill. We survive, and our love is alive, 'cause our love grows stronger still, and it always will. So it's rain or shine as the fates decide. And even if some trouble comes along for the ride, still our love rolls on. Our love rolls on. We can rise above it, 'cause our love rolls on and on and on. Yeah. Well, to show you what a great accompanist Dave Frishberg was, in my particular instance, he was game to play anything that I brought in on for a chart. We had 2 nights at the Heathman, Wednesday and Thursday, for 5 years, and then they got a new director, and we were fired. So I had a Mexican song period of my singing, and I listened to a lot of Edie Gourmet with Trio Los Panchos. If you've never heard that, it's great. And also, Nat King Cole put out 3 Spanish song recordings, and they were great too. So there you go. I fell in love with them, and this is one called Sabor Ami. Tanto tiempo disfrutamos este amor, nuestras almas se acercaron tanto así que yo guardo tu sabor, pero tú llevas también sabor a mí. Si negaras mi presencia en tu vivir, bastaría con abrazarte, conversar. Tanta vida yo te di que por fuerza tienes ya sabor a mí. No pretendo ser tu dueña, no soy nada, yo no tengo vanidad. De mi vida doy lo bueno, soy tan pobre que otra cosa puedo dar. Pasarán más de 1000 años, muchos más. Yo no sé si tenga amor la eternidad, pero allá tal como aquí, en la boca llevarás sabor a mí. No pretendo ser tu dueña, no soy nada, yo no tengo vanidad. De mi vida doy lo bueno, soy tan pobre que otra cosa puedo dar. Pasarán más de 1000 años, muchos más. Yo no sé si tenga amor la eternidad, pero allá tal como aquí, en la boca llevarás sabor a mí, sabor a mí. Well, this is another Dave Frishberg song. It's one of my favorites. It's called Snowbound, and it was written in 1994. The north winds blow, it's 12 below. Streets like ice, ain't it nice to be snowbound? No place to go, hip deep in snow. We're alright, tucked in tight, 'cause we're snowbound. Yes, we're snowbound. The bad news is the weatherman says more bad weather. Snowbound. The good news is that here we are, socked in together. The corn is popped, the clock is stopped. What a storm, what a sight. We'll keep warm through the night, because we're snowbound, 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 me and Randy Porter. The north winds blow, it's 12 below. Streets like ice, ain't it nice to be snowbound? No place to go, hip deep in snow. We're alright, tucked in tight, 'cause we're snowbound. Yes, we're snowbound. The bad news is the weatherman says more bad weather. Snowbound. The good news is that here we are, socked in together. The corn is popped, the clock is stopped. Pass the wine, light the fire. 9:30, let's retire, 'cause we're snowbound, 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 snowbound. Just we two. Snowbound, 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 me and you. Yeah. I haven't forgotten. So here's a song by Dorothy Fields and Jerome Kern from a 1936 movie called Swing Time. And if any of you listened to the Fresh Air show where Dave and I did a duet, it was this song called A Fine Romance. So Dan says he has something to say about this song.
Oh. Well, I'm going to employ this device on the performance of this tune. Those of you dining right in front, it's been sanitized for your personal protection. You know, we're all germ crazy. Yeah, here we go. That's right. Yeah.
Oh, good.
This has been only used in company of the trombone, I assure you, which is dangerous enough. But going back to the turn of the last century, around 1890 or 1900, around New Orleans, brass players, trumpet and cornet players and trombone players started experimenting with ways to make their instruments sound more like a human voice. And they used coconut shells and beer bottles and whatever they could find. And some genius decided that this would be just about the right size for a trombone bell. And of course the ones for sinks are just the right size for trumpets and cornets. And Duke Ellington had a long history of employing men who could make their trombones and trumpets sound like a human voice. One of my heroes is Tricky Sam Nanton from the Duke Ellington Orchestra. But the point I was going to make, you know, musical instruments like this are very expensive. But these things, just, you know, a couple of bucks each. So in all of my travels, I've never left my trombone anywhere, but I leave these all over the world, backstage. And it's pretty easy. If I need one, I just go down to the hardware store. And this actually happened to me. I needed a plunger for a recording or something, and I went to the hardware store, and I found the rubber part, and I put it on the counter in front of the young lady, the cashier. And she was very kind, very polite. She said, "Oh, sir, the sticks for those are just across the aisle from the rubber parts. I'll wait if you want to go get a stick." And I wasn't thinking, you know. I said, "Well, I never used the stick." She backed up about 4 feet. She said, "That's disgusting." That's my story. I'm sticking to it. So we'll see how close I go. Carry on.
Okay.
That's all I got.
And this intro is something that Dave Frishberg probably made up on the spot, some gig that we were doing, and he quotes another song, Romance by Walter Donaldson. So it just shows how quick he is and how ingenious. So here we go with A Fine Romance. Oh. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. A fine romance with no kisses. A fine romance, my friend. This is, we should be like a couple of hot tomatoes. But you're as cold as yesterday's mashed potatoes. A fine romance, you won't nestle. A fine romance, you won't wrestle. I might as well play bridge with my old maid aunts. I never get the chance. This is a fine romance. That's Tom Wakeling. I find romance, my good fellow. You take romance, I'll take jello. You're calmer than the seals in the Arctic Ocean. At least they flap their fins to express emotion. A fine romance with no quarrels, with no insults, and all morals. I've never mussed the crease in your blue serge pants. I never ever get the chance. This is a fine romance, romance. This is a fine romance. Am I out of line, or is this a fine romance? Thank you. Well, I am also a big fan of the early Billie Holiday, particularly. And so I brought this song I would just put a chart in front of, on the piano, and he would start playing it. And he probably knew it, because he loved early Billie Holiday, too. So this is one called Says My Heart. Fall in love, says my heart. It's romance, take a chance, says my heart. But each time that I'm almost in your arms, this old school teacher brain of mine keeps ringing in false alarms. So my head rules instead, and I'm wise to the scheme of that gleam in your eyes. So I kiss and run, but the moment that we're apart, oh, you fool, that was love, says my heart. Says my heart, it's romance, take a chance, says my heart. But each time that I'm almost in your arms. This old school teacher brain of mine keeps ringing in false alarms. And then my head rolls instead, and I rise to the scheme of that gleam in your eyes. So I kiss and run about the moment that we were born. It was love who spilled my heart. It wasn't the moon, it wasn't the stars. It was love, says my heart. Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to shuffle things up a little here. And Dan and I are leaving the stage. And a friend, Hal Logan, is coming up to sing a couple of songs. So, Hal?
Hal.
Have you seen the charts yet? Oh, good. I think they're both 2 times through.
Okay. I guess you're off the hook. Sorry about that.
Can I leave my horn here, Hal? Is that
Sure.
your way?
Sure, whatever you want. I just had a piano chart, so I think it's just going to be handy on this one. Oh, okay. Thanks, guys. Sorry, I didn't. All right. Yeah, we did. It's all right.
This place is so proud.
Thanks,
nobody
man.
goes.
Oh, I got mine.
Sure, man.
Hal Logan, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Well, I'll just move this up here to my level. Thank you, everyone. I know this evening is filled with people that played with Dave, and I am not one of those people. I've been social friends with Dave. Our wives, April Magnuson and Mindy Logan, are actors in town, and so we were social friends and hung out and had dinner and things like that. So I got to know Dave that way, and we shared some music together. I played a couple of my tunes for him, and he says to me, "I like your voice." You know, it's like, okay, that's cool. That's cool. So a couple weeks ago, we were at a concert in the park, and I was talking about the drummer because I'm a drummer, and he said, "Oh, you're a drummer?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I thought you were a piano player." I said, No, I'm a drummer." He goes, "Oh, well, that makes sense." So I chose not to play piano for you tonight. What might possibly have been Dave's request, but this is a song that Dave wrote lyrics for. Johnny Mandel had an old standard called Hershey Bar, and he asked Dave to write lyrics for it, and so he changed the name. And this was written in 2001, shortly after he married April, and so you be the judge about who this song is about. But this is Little Did I Dream. I'm sure. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Little did I dream when first we collided, love was on the scene and fate had decided it was time that we met. And little did I ever dream, all that I could do was stammer and stumble. Didn't have a clue I'd soon take a tumble I would never regret. And little did I ever dream, 'cause I didn't see the great adventure that was waiting for me. I knew exactly what my future would be. I had it all mapped out with no doubt. But bumping into you was so unexpected. You popped into view, we clicked and connected. It was fate, I suppose, and things are seldom what they seem. But one never knows, and little did I ever dream I didn't see the great adventure that was waiting for me. I knew exactly what my future would be. I had it all mapped out with no doubt. But bumping into you was so unexpected. You popped into view, we clicked and connected. It was fate, I suppose, and things are seldom what they seem. And one never knows. And little did I ever dream. Little did I ever dream. Thank you. Thank you. And this next song was written in 1981 with music from Alan Broadbent. And this, when I first heard this song, it is the most amazing musical song. This melody uses all 12 notes in the chromatic scale within the course of its, well, one at a time, of course, but yeah, you get the idea. And so this is a song about another beautiful blonde. This is Marilyn Monroe. Once we dreamed of a goddess with golden hair, warm and young, with a breathless wonder we all could share. A worldly girl, and yet demure and shy, with a face so fair, she was a Lorelei, butterfly. And while we dreamed, our goddess was dreaming too, of a friendly world where a little girl could be real and true. So we shared the dream, and now we know we love her so, 'cause she was Hollywood, she was Marilyn Monroe. She was Marilyn Monroe. Thank you. Randy Porter. Thank you. Love you, Dave.
Becky asked us if we'd share memories of Dave and stories, and I have a bunch, but I have a real quick one. We were used to play at the old Brasserie Montmartre. There was a sort of a stage above the stairwell, and we played duo there from time to time, and we just played tunes, and we got up, we started playing a tune, and I don't remember what the song was, but it's one of those things where we got almost to the bridge of the tune, and we sort of looked at each other, and we went like, uh-oh, I'm not sure what that chord's going to be, and we sort of didn't quite make it. We came around again, and we got there, and we got pretty close, and Dave looks up and he goes, "We're homing in on it." We're going to try to home in on some of Randy Porter's arrangements.
Yeah. We're going to play trio, I guess, for a couple songs, yeah.
Hold on here, Randy.
My last record was, I'll sing really quick. I have nothing.
Kill Me a Grape.
Yeah, we're going to Not much. We're going to play Peel Me a Grape here, and maybe Heart's Desire. We'll see how it goes. I'm throwing a chart on Tom Wakeling that he hasn't seen. But I have a similar experience where the brasserie was factored in. I moved into town 1990, at the end of it, sat down not really knowing what Portland musicians sounded like, didn't recognize these early musicians, and I'm sitting behind two people I hadn't seen before. One's a singer, one's a piano player. And I'm sitting there right behind the piano player, and I was freaked out. I thought, is this what Portland has to offer? It was like otherworldly. I didn't know what to compare it to. It was so inspired, and it was so in the moment, and the stuff was just, I couldn't ever emulate it. I don't know, it was just like the best jazz I could imagine in a freaked out way. I found out later it was Dave Frishberg on piano and Nancy King. Is she here yet? Nancy. And, so, hello Portland. I could not leave. I've been here for 31 years. No small factor was Dave Frishberg and Nancy King. So, yeah, this might not sound anything like Dave Frishberg, but he did write it, and it's called Peel Me a Grape. I did, yeah. So the last record I made was called Porter Plays Frishberg, and I do have CDs somewhere. So if you want one, yeah. But, thank you. What's up? Oh, the great Dave Talls. And Dave Capteen. Yay.
Switch waters out. The drummers used to share waters all the time. Now you're like, maybe it's not a good.
Yeah. All right, we're doing a quick change of bass players. I'm thrilled to have a chance to play with Dave Capteen, who I haven't played with in maybe 5 years or something. I don't know. It's been a while. I was up here one time when we did some playing. So, thank you so much, Becky, for inviting me to come and be here. I'm so thrilled to be involved. It's just beyond my imagination that I would be invited to come and be involved in a tribute to Dave Frishberg, who is one of my heroes. And those of you who don't know my music, it's a mixture of humorous tunes and heartfelt songs. And I can't think of that many other people except Dave Frishberg who just courageously go into every possible realm of that, just like we heard this last tune. It's actually quite a tribute to Frishberg. What an amazing composer he was, that his songs were good enough that instrumentalists would want to do them without the lyrics because the melodies are so great. He's just really an amazing musician. And before I get going, I just want to say that as a songwriter, a lot of people talk about Dave Frishberg's humor and everything, but really it isn't so much that that's an influence on me from him. It's his craft. It's just the way his lyrics, his melodies, like you just heard, they just flow like water. And I can assure you that if you hear a musician or a composer writing stuff that flows like that, trust me, that takes hundreds and hundreds of painstaking hours to get that together. And sometimes if I'm writing a song, I'll have that moment where there's a line in the middle of it that's pretty good, and I've been working on the song for a while, and I'm like, maybe it's good enough. Maybe it's okay. And I think Dave would be glad to know that I think of him in that moment, and I think, no, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until I get it right. Speaking of getting it right or not getting it right, so I learned a couple of his tunes for this event, and these are not songs that I usually sing, but I'm thrilled to have a chance to learn them. And this one I first heard at Tom Wakeling's house. I was up here in 2014 or something like that, and we were hanging out, and he said, man, there's a lot of Frishberg tunes you haven't ever heard, and he played me a whole bunch, and this one really stood out. It's a little off the beaten path, and I hope I can do justice to it. It's called Gotta Get Me Some Z's. And I don't know, is there anything to be said about this chart? I think it's okay. I'm going to scat one chorus if it won't cause eruptions. Do you want to take solo also, Randy, or should we just do... What do you think? I don't know, how are we for time? I'll scat one and you take one, but don't take the restatement of the intro until after your solo, okay? You see what I mean? Yeah. I'll yell at you. By the way, forgive me if I let a little bit of Frishbergian timbre sneak in. I've been singing these tunes in my car and walking around, and I cannot sing these songs. They can't be sung without just a little bit of Frishberg in there. So I'm not trying to imitate him. I'm not trying to make fun of him. It's impossible to not do it. Right here? Yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2. Well, I don't need no vitamins or tonics or hormones from some monkeys in the trees. I don't need no high or low colonics or jelly from royal honeybees. I got to get me some Z's. Well, I don't need no Turkish bath or sauna. I don't need no pills from no MDs. I could stay awake, but I don't wanna. 'cause I'd be walking around on my knees. I got to get me some Z's, talk about Z's, to zipper up those raveled sleeves of care. Z's, to mend a mind in disrepair. I don't need no heavy conversation. I ain't got wind to try and shoot the breeze. I don't need no free association with some Beverly Hills Viennese. I got to get me some Z's. Oh, ba dee da, da da dee da, ba da doo da. Do da da ba ba da 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 do da da do do da do. Da 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 do da da do do da 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 da. Ba do 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 da 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 da. Ah da da do. Ba da ba da ba da ba da ba da ba da ba da. Ba da ba da ba da ba da ba do do ba da ba da ba da da do le do ba bi ba da ba. Ba da ba bi ba da 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 do da 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 da. Ah da 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 da. Take the second half, Randy. I can dig exactly where my head's at. I can diagnose my own disease. Just lock me up and leave me where my bed's at, with a sign that says, go away, please. This man is getting some Z's. I look in the mirror, my face looks frozen, like a guy who's dying by degrees. I can barely keep my eyes from closing. People think I'm just starting to sneeze. I got to get me some Z's, talking about Z's, to zipper up those raveled sleeves of care. Z's, to mend a mind in disrepair. I don't need no whiskey or no highballs. I don't want no headaches or DTs. Dig these satchels underneath my eyeballs. Well, if I'm going to get rid of these, I got to get me some Z's. I got to get me some Z's, let me tell ya. I got to get me some Z's. I got to get me some Z's. I got to get me some Z's. Good night. All right.
Dan, you want to play on this one? Of course. Please.
If Randy doesn't mind, we can. This is a creepy song in a way. If you're a working musician, and because you kind of wonder if Dave Frishberg was watching you live your young life. There isn't a thing on this song that I haven't either done or seen somebody else on the band do. In my youthful days, I toured with several bands when I was young, and it's a celebration of just the lifestyle of the touring sideman jazz musician, and it's such an insightful lyric. While it's a little bit funny, it really is a very accurate description of the mindset. And so here we go. This is I Want to Be a Sideman.
All right. So I'm not going to scout. You can jump right in. Boy, this one has a lot of lyrics, Randy. I don't know if I'm going to remember all these. 1, 2, 1, 2, 2.
wanna be a sideman, just an ordinary sideman. I'll go along for the ride, man, responsibility free. I wanna fill behind the vocal, double on flute, and jam on the blues. I want to go and join the local, buy a dark suit, and start paying dues. I want to maintain my book in neatly numbered order. I want to listen to Lester Young on my recorder. I want to play while the people dance. I want to press my own coat and pants. I want to ask for an advance. I want to be a sideman. I want to be a sideman, just a highly qualified man, a real professional pride man, old indispensable me. Now I can cut whatever comes up, fake and transpose, and I won't make a fuss. I'll set the vibes and the drums up, sight read the shows and sleep on the bus. I wanna spend my time with music and musicians. I wanna go out and grab a smoke on intermission. I want to sleep in the afternoons and let the leader call all the tunes. I wanna be young, I wanna have fun, I want to be a sideman. I want to work for a superstar and hang out in the hotel bar. I wanna be young, you know I wanna have fun. I wanna be a sideman. I was going to say to Dan Barrett, you know, the intro is this old Glenn Miller tune. I don't know if you've heard it before or not.
There aren't any new Glenn Miller tunes.
All right, is there time for me to do the last one, the third? I still got time for this. I want to build. Okay, we're going to jump. So it's kind of wild. It's especially special for me to be here because, I mean, I didn't really know Dave Frishberg that well. I played one gig with him, which I can thank Tom Wakeling for setting up, and it also was the night that I met Rebecca Kilgore back in 2013 at Clackamas College. What a special night that was. And Dave was a sideman on that gig, by the way. He didn't even sing. And then he came and saw us do the Kilgore Tull Quartet at a place in Portland the next year or something like that. So it was a thrill. But where I used to hear about Dave Frishberg was all my years working with Jack Sheldon, which I did for 20 years down in Los Angeles. And every once in a while, Jack would have a story about Dave because they did a lot of work together and knew each other back before Dave moved up here. And here's a tune that Dave Frishberg wrote and Jack Sheldon sang. And actually, the last time I sang this tune was at Jack Sheldon's celebration of life. That's kind of sad, I suppose. But in any case, they were both brilliant people back in 2019. So this is from Schoolhouse Rock. And I know that Dave Frishberg probably would not have wanted to have been super known for this tune above all the songs he wrote that were so amazing. But in any case, it is probably the one that he cashed the most checks for, I would guess. So here's I'm Just a Bill from Schoolhouse Rock.
I'll do two verses, okay? Okay. Vocal, then solo a couple times. You want a solo on this crazy song? It's like a little pop. You feel it. And then I'll do one more to go out. We can just vamp a little bit on G to get started, okay? 1, 2, 1, 2.
Oh, yeah! I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, it's a long, long journey to the capital city. A long, long wait while I'm sitting in committee. But I know I'll be a law someday. At least I hope and pray that I will. For today I am still just a bill. I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I got as far as Capitol Hill. Well, now I'm stuck in committee and I'll sit here and wait while a few key congressmen discuss and debate whether they should let me be a law. I hope and pray that I will, but today I am still just a bill. Oh, yeah! Just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And if they vote for me on Capitol Hill, well then I'm off to the White House where I wait in line with a lot of other bills for the president to sign. And if he signs me, then I'll be a law. How I hope and pray that I will. But today I am still just a bill. Yeah, Dave, and yeah, Jack Sheldon. Yeah. Thanks, gentlemen.
All right, Becky, what's next? Either one, whatever you want. Okay.
Okay. So, is it on the bass player's stand? Do we have music for it? No. It's nowhere. I realized I forgot to bring them, so Becky said she had some, so we'll see if she's got it. Well, I can use this to describe. So, Becky asked if we could do this tune, and it's a tune that we've done as the Kilgore Tull quartet with Tom and Randy. And Becky is the one that learned this tune first, and I'll just tell you the story. It's a song of mine from my first CD. My first CD is called "I Just Want to Get Paid," and yeah, it's you can tell I was listening to Frishberg a little bit. And there's a song on there called "I Just Decided to Stay," which was intended to be just a nice little romantic tune about a very stuck-up kind of guy who goes out to lunch with a woman and ends up falling in love with her. So that was the first tune. And then after that record, before I did the second CD, my second CD is called "Texting and Driving," and that one, I thought, I was doing stuff with Becky in the interim, and I thought, what if I wrote a counterline that told the story of the woman's point of view of that date, you know, how it went for her. And so I took some time and I wrote a counterline, and so it became a new tune, and it's what we do together, and it's called "The Date." So you'll hear the guy's point of view first, and then you'll hear the woman's point of view, and then we'll sing it together.
I want to let you know in the audience that this is kind of a reunion. I haven't seen a lot of these musicians in a long time. I haven't seen Todd Straight in years, and I haven't seen Dave Tull in a month.
Well, you know, I was noticing that we played here a month ago tonight, the 9th of November, and now we're here, of course, for a whole different reason on the 9th of December. But I kind of like the idea of playing the 1905 on the 9th every month. So I'll talk to Aaron. I'll just come up every month on the 9th for one reason or another. Anyway, here's the date. Right here, it's a little two-feel, and we just run it through 3 times, just like you'd think. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I told you that my afternoon was tightly planned as we met for lunch one busy day. I planned to leave at 1, but when you touched my hand, I just decided to stay. We strolled the park as lovely as it's ever been, and I walked you home the long, long way. I thought we'd say goodbye, but when you asked me in, I just decided to stay. Time to do my other things was running low. It's amazing how the hours had flown. The clock said I should leave, but then my heart said no, 'cause it knew I'd do those other things all alone. We had a lovely dinner there by candlelight, and I fell in love along the way. I thought for sure that I'd be going home that night, but I decided when I was invited, I just decided to stay. Oh, it was lovely.
I must have been crazy to ask him out. He uses lunch to tell me every amazing thing he's done. Does this guy ever take a breath? I have to tap him on the hand to let him know it's almost 1. He wants to stroll the park. Well, all right, I try to angle him away, but we end up at my door. He's calmed a little. I suppose I ought to ask him in, but I hope he doesn't stay long because the time to do my other things is running low. And soon I'll have to offer dinner. I wouldn't want that. I'm dropping hints, but he just won't get a clue. I even lie and say the power just went out in my flat. But now his tone is so sincere. There's a new look in his eyes. Could he be falling for me? He's so much sweeter than before. I always thought he was cute. Well, maybe just for tonight, I'll just decide he can stay. I must have been crazy to ask him what he uses lunch to tell me every amazing thing he's done. Does this guy ever take a breath? I have to tap him on the hand to
just
let him
decided
know
to
it's
stay.
almost 1. He wants to
We
stroll
strolled
the park
as lovely
well,
as
alright.
it's ever
I tried to
been.
angle us
And I
away,
walked you
but
home
we
the
end up
long
at
way.
my door. He's calmed a
I
little.
thought we'd say
I
goodbye,
suppose
but
I ought
when
to
you
ask
asked
him
me
in,
in,
but I
I
hope
just decided to stay.
he doesn't stay long because the
Time to do my other things was running low. It's amazing
And
how
soon
the
I'll have to
hours had
offer
flown.
dinner. I wouldn't want
The
that.
clock said I should
I'm
leave,
dropping
but then
hints,
my
but
heart
he
said
just
no.
won't get a
'Cause it
clue.
knew I do
even
those
lie
other
and say
things
the power
all
just went
alone.
out in my
We
flat.
had a lovely dinner there by candlelight.
But now his tone is so
And I
sincere.
fell in love
There's a new look in his eye. Could he be
I thought for
falling
sure that I'd be
for
going
me?
home
He's so
that
much
night.
sweeter than before.
But I decided
I always thought he
I
was cute.
invited.
Well, maybe just for tonight, I'll just decide he can stay. Dave Tom wrote that.
And of course, I wrote the way harder part for her. By the way, I'm really sorry that I can't stay for the second show tonight, but I do live in Los Angeles, and it's crazy, but it's finals week at Pasadena City College, and I have to administer a final from my drum set class tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., so I'm racing out of here to catch a plane, and believe me, I'm not going to be in a very good mood. But anyway, I'm sorry I can't stay for the second set, and I want to thank all of you for coming out for the early set.
Are we doing?
I think we're doing Rough Riding.
Rough Riding. Rough.
Is that the right key?
I don't know.
Oh, sorry, yeah. That's pretty close.
Thank you.
That was pretty close.
What?
Do you want to tell them about this or do it?
We'll just do it.
Okay, let's just do it.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Oh, oh. I've got a problem on my mind because you say we're through, baby. You
You are giving me rough riding, and you know it's making me blue. Were you fooling me when you said that you love me so, baby? Though it's gonna be rough riding, babe, I'll never let you go. I'll never forget you, darling. Please don't treat me this way. I'll never forget you, darling. Let's not call it a day. Give me just another chance to prove that I love you, baby. Then there'll be no more rough riding, baby, never, never again.
Dave Canteen. Because you say we're through, baby. You are giving me rough riding, and you know it's making me blue. Were you fooling me when you said that you love me so, baby? Though it's gonna be rough riding, baby, I'll never let you go. I'll never forget you, darling. Please don't treat me this way. I'll never forget you, darling. Let's not call it a day. Give me just another chance to prove that I love you, baby. Then there'll be no more rough riding, baby, never, ever again. Then there'll be no more rough riding, baby, never, ever again. So, we were supposed to take a 15-minute break in the middle of that, so we're going to take it now at the end of the set, which means that...
Oh, sure, we can do that if you think it's okay. I mean, should...
I know. If we're going to do what I think we're going to do, the only thing about this is it has nothing to do with David Frishberg at all. But he probably would have liked this pairing of tunes, I think. Let's just hope for that. No, there's a great Jack Siegel tune called May I Come In that I learned when I was playing with Paige Cavanaugh, who I know Dave Frishberg knew, and it's one of those great tunes that's lesser known. But anyway, I was thinking about the work Becky and I do together, and I was trying to think of, would there be a song that would logically go after May I Come In? And one night I was driving back late from a gig, which is when everything good happens, and I thought of this tune. So we're going to do this quick arrangement, if she's got it.
No, I didn't bring the whole book because I wasn't expecting to do that. Sorry.
Oh. Tom says he knows it.
Well, but the arrangement is...
Yeah, it's got a
Yeah, with the two songs next to each other. Yep. Okay. We'll bring Tom Wakeling up because he happens to know this arrangement.
Thank you, Dave Capteen from the coast. I haven't seen you in like over a year. Maybe.
Fishing. What's the first chord? Yeah. And where does
Yeah, she begins the next song.
yeah, what's that?
Give me 1 second.
Well, they suss this out, and a tiny bit appropriately, ValeJazz.org, which does the Vale Jazz Party, has a series on their website called Jazz Interludes, and they run a 12-week series with artists posting a new video from them each week. And I recorded 12 songs for them last May, and we're right in the middle of the series. So if you ever want to hear some of my stuff with the trio, we recorded it at Alva's down in LA last May. Go to valejazz.org, and you can see them for free. And the reason why I mention it is because the tune that was posted yesterday is called Fly by the Seat of My Pants. We're not going to do that tonight, but if you want to hear it, then you'll see what we're doing right now. It's our life, you know. All right. 1, 2, 3. Speaking of the devil, I'm standing at your door. May I come in? Feeling like a lost and lonely lamb. May I come in? Don't slam the door until you've heard my story. Please let me stay so I can say that I'm so sorry. I'm sorry that I ran off and lost my mind with someone new. Carelessly I left my heart behind. It's still with you, but what can I do? I'm standing on your welcome mat, but the welcome's wearing thin. the silly fool I've been, may I come in? Please, baby.
Now you say you're lonely. You cried the long night through. Well, you can cry me a river. Cry me a river. I cried a river over you. Now you say you're sorry for being so untrue. Well, you can cry me a river, cry me a river. I cried a river over you. You drove me, nearly drove me out of my head, while you never shed a tear. Remember, I remember all that you said. Told me love was too plebeian. Told me you were through with me, and now you say you love me. Well, just to prove you do, you gotta cry me a river, cry me a river, 'cause I cried a river over you.
I'm standing on your welcome mat, but the welcome's wearing thin. Speaking of the silly fool I've been, may I?
I can't remember. Oh. Remember, I remember all that you said. I just can't remember the words.
Come in.
Now you say you love me. So this is an hour and 10-minute break for the next show. So there's more. Whoops. And once again, Randy Porter on piano. Tom Wakeling on the bass. Dave Capteen on the bass. Dave Towell on drums. Todd Strait on drums. And next set you'll hear Charlie Doggett on drums. And the great Nancy King will be on stage. I'm so excited.
I think the second set is, are they turning the house for the second?
Yes. But you can stay and talk.